here. So what I do is I like to watch from a bird's eye view, while the covert narcissist watches everybody from a monitoring spirit side eye view. Okay, so I told y'all anytime I need motivation, I just watch a couple readers. So this goofball reader that I like to keep in my so I can always have motivation. Young chick, always spatting off at the mouth, not thinking about nothing, giving plenty of content. But anyway, here's the thing about them. They know they can't compete. So what you'll notice about these females is they'll try to taint the water for everybody, right? So what this clown was talking about was how she peeped game that whoever she's speaking about or channeling is having women compete for him. And she's the smart one to notice. So she's going to make sure that she doesn't compete. You can't compete where you don't compare. So anytime you're running your mouth about you're not going to compete, well, you know, if you don't have a good justifiable reason, then just say you just don't want to deal. Listen, I ain't got it in me, right? Well, I sit here and say it all the time. I don't have it in me to deal with the dating games that's going on. I just step away. I say it all the time. I don't have it in me to be going out here buying these dates for women and buying this food and stuff for them on these dates, and you know, all the time it takes to prep and all that, and they're just doing a foodie date and have no real intention of, you know, letting things get serious or anything. I ain't got time for it, okay? So when I see these women talking crazy, you know, like, first of all, here's the thing, and why I said something about women not having emotional intelligence, they just have emotions. You know, when this woman was speaking, she was talking about, well, you know, this man's gonna have all these different women competing, and I'm just, listen, you can't handle competing. You think that you shouldn't have to compete. Well, the stats prove otherwise. The stats prove that women compete with each other all the time, okay? That's what the stats prove. The stats prove that y'all compete with each other all the time, and you will compete for something that you feel like is worth it. If you don't feel like it's worth it, then what are you even talking about it for? Why are you talking about not even competing for it? You must be a little bit butthurt because of all the options. See, here's the thing, gentlemen. Hope you hear the water in the background, the creek. Here's the thing, gentlemen. They get really pissed off whenever we have options, and we know we have options. When we know our worth, and this is how we can always find out who's a narcissist and who's a lady. Women, I've noticed, appreciate a man that knows his worth to a certain extent. They'll start thinking you're cocky or whatever, but if you just keep showing up and you keep being the same way, they'll be like, oh, he's good, whatever. But a covert narcissist is the kind of female that puts you on a pedestal to poke and pry, right? So they're putting you on this pedestal, talking about how, you know, this person think they're a great person or whatever, just to say things like, oh yeah, you know, this guy. Listen, if you look at the stats, there's twice as many women as there is men. They're saying by 2030, do you know how around the corner that is? By 2030, most women are going to be childless and single. But y'all can sit here and deny the facts all you want to. And that's why I'm going to just sit back. I'm going to get my money right, get rich, so that by 2030, which we know that's just a rough estimate, it could be by 2027, 2028, who knows, right? Women are going to get more desperate. And what's going to happen is it's going to be a sign of being a healthy woman and being in a healthy mindset to have a man, period. Not to have a good man, not to have a bad boy, not to have this chud that all of them want, you know what I'm saying, 6 foot, you know what I'm saying, 6 figures, all that kind of, no. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying, a sign of being excellent to have a man, because it's going to be such a rare commodity to get a man that's going to want to settle down with you because of all the options that men will have. You know what I'm saying? While you're sitting out here, you know, thinking that you have, listen, y'all don't have options, okay? Whenever y'all are talking about, oh, I got all these options, no, you have guys that are hitting you up, you have guys that are trying to get some, but you don't have real settled down options, or you would be settling down. You know, you wouldn't be dating forever, because you know that that's a man's world thing. Because 444 on the timer, as I say this, you know it's real, because only a man can date forever, because we, like that woman said in that video, we mature with time while y'all age. It just is what it is. It's got a notification, you know what I'm saying? So that's a confirmation. You guys hit that like button. Hit that like button, spread us through the algorithm. YouTube is getting really, really funky, y'all. You know, I wouldn't tell you guys this if it wasn't true. You know, I'll get off the live and screenshot it, and it'll say 10 viewers in there, and then it'll say 2 views. You know, after I shut it down completely and it brings it back up, it'll say 2 views, and it'll say like 5 or 6 likes. They're really getting funky. So more than ever, unless you're a hater and you want to bounce out, I understand. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share the live and subscribe, but mostly hit that like button and drop me a comment, you guys. Hey, listen, also I want to say shout out to all of my subscribers overseas and in the States that check in. You guys just checking in and leaving a comment helps the algorithm. Don't stop leaving comments. If it takes me a little while to get back to them, I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna get back to you. Even if it takes a while, I'm gonna get back to you. I got a lot of stuff going on, but believe me when I say I appreciate all the work that you guys are putting in, so don't stop putting that work in. That's what's growing the channel. I just have, you know, 3 other channels I'm trying to grow, and 2 TikToks, a Facebook and an Instagram and a Twitter. But no excuses. Just bear with me. Don't be shy. Don't think that you're bothering me. Don't think that I think I'm better than y'all or anything crazy like that. I just got a lot of stuff going on. I appreciate your comments. I love reading what your guys' insight. You know, I've got subscribers like Justin and Reggie, and a lot of the my homies from the down under, you know what I'm saying, in Australia, you know what I mean, they be checking in, giving me great content, great feedback, so I can use that towards another video. So don't not check in because I didn't get to your comment or whatever. I will get to those comments. Bear with me, okay? Bear with me. With that being said, and like I was saying, these women out here don't understand the statistics and the actual situation that they're in. And the situation is there's plenty of them and more of them, and they're all looking the same, which, you know, they've allowed themselves to compete with each other, and which they've allowed for the matrix, you know what I'm saying, the system that's set up to make them all into carbon copies of each other. So what they think is a trend, when they're all looking like each other, they're looking like different shades of the same person, the same woman. So if you're all gonna look the same and you're trying to come off the same kind of way, as a man, how are you losing? There's twice as many of y'all as there is us. We know as a man, you know, after you come out of the matrix, you realize that marriage is slavery. So you realize, like, oh, they tricked me into slavery, and you just wake up to it, because it's like, why am I doing anything contractual? Because anything else that you do that's a contract, you're looking it over, fine prints, you know you're dedicating a certain portion of your life to it. But you look at things from a perspective of, okay, what happens if divorce happens? How you get slaughtered? There is no way no way. You can make the mistake one time, but, you know, multiple times, you just, you know, you're a little bit insane. You know what I mean? So you look at it from that perspective, then it's like, also, why would a woman need for that so quickly anyway? Because, you know, we gotta get to know each other, and we can, you know, we can consider ourselves whatever without having a contract. And then, you know, also, you gotta think about how they're gonna be like, man, we gotta rush and hurry up and do this, man, because, you know, I'm getting up in age, so we gotta look at, you know, getting women a little bit younger. Just saying. But these women out here are denying the actual, this is why I love it. Because again, I got the bird's eye view, so I just sit back and watch content creators wigging out, and women I meet in person, and other women I meet in the grocery line or whatever that's complaining about stuff. And I'm just like, man, y'all don't see the writing on the wall? Like, y'all can't see it? Like, y'all don't know? Man, it's over, man. Like, y'all, what happened is, the reality of the situation is there's stats that are put out. They have to be put out. But what the media pushes, the propaganda of this small section, and try to make it seem like that's the overall dynamic. So they push this whole agenda of the boss bear, the boss bear. They push that, right? Making women think that they can have it all. And then the reality hits them, you know, in their early 30s, and it's like the wall, you know. And I hate to say it's that, but it really is, because it's the saddest thing in the world to see. A lot of women didn't prepare for it because they're so used to getting so much attention from so many different men when they were younger, because of their youth and because of their personality. Because when a woman's younger, you know, she normally has, what's going on? She normally has less body, so she has less trauma, and therefore, you know, we know women, a lot of women are like healing, so they mask the stuff, you know, propaganda and a bunch of fluff. You know what I'm saying? So they have less, you know, trauma and drama, so they can add to your peace more easily. So they wonder why guys go for women that are a little bit younger, because there's less trauma that they've gone through. Man, what's going on here, man? What time is it? 5:30? Everyone's getting off work, I guess. 5:30, just getting off work time, man. Let me get up off the road a little bit further. Let me scooch off a little bit off to the side, give them about 5 feet. And when the harsh reality hits them, and some of these women are realizing it in their late 20s. And I think that's because they know that 30's hitting. And women, see, gentlemen, we don't look at numbers of age like women do. Women look at numbers, age numbers, like death sentences. They're like, oh, 30, oh, 35, oh, 40, oh. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at stuff like that. You know, like, shoot. When I was in my 20s, I look forward to 30 because I'm like, oh, I'll finally be able to get some more women. And then when I was 30, I'm like, man, 35, I'll be able to get more women. And then knowing at 40, I'm gonna have everything together, my life pretty much figured out in a way to know how to move and how to speak to people, and I've been through a lot of stuff. And we all know that guys look better with age. I mean, I figured out my look or whatever. So I knew at 40, I looked better than myself at 35. I knew at 35, I looked better than myself at 30. And even in my 20s, man, I was so ahead of the game, making 100,000 and stuff like that in my mid-20s, but I was still in my mid-20s getting called a baby by women my same age. They're so used to getting these older guys and getting wined and dined and flown out and stuff, getting flued out, that, you know, they project that kind of image onto the regular guy. And I'm here in my mid-20s looking good. You know, back then I had my Usher waves going on. If you don't know, look up Usher's hairstyle. That's how I had my stuff going on. You know, that low Caesar, man, had my junk going on, had my little cars or whatever going on, and still would get gaslit by being called, oh, you're just a baby. A baby? You're the same age as me, or it's like a year older than me. All kind of crazy stuff that they do. So again, right now, bringing it back home, women are noticing as they're getting into their 30s. I'm telling you, when women are 25 and under, they're just like, I don't care, whatever. But like 26, 27, them jokers start looking at stuff. And then when they see a guy just de-aging and looking better and better with time, they start feeling some type of way. And guess what they start doing? They start projecting. And then instead of them looking up the stats, this is why I got to be real careful with the spiritual side of things. Women are using spirituality to be delusional. They're using spirituality to be delusional and be like, I'll just manifest him. Oh, I don't care what the stats say. I'll manifest it. Oh, I'll just do this concoction and this and I'll manifest it. I'll go under the moonlight and I'll and I'll manifest it. They're not wanting to do any work, and they're using spirituality as their like way of getting out of it. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to look at the stats and be like, well, according to the stats, just like me, I'm 5'9". So I know that works against me. So guess what? I have to hyperinflate other qualities of myself so because I mean, it ain't something that women are like, oh, 5'9", that's just unacceptable. A lot of women deal with guys about my age, like 5'9", 5'10", all the time, you know, but on social media, they hyperinflate. Oh, you want a 6-foot guy. It's very rare to find one. But when you know what I'm saying, know the stats are that most women want that, and then you can adjust accordingly. Women will be like, I'm spiritual. I don't care if he wants a woman underweight. I'm going to manifest a guy that wants an overweight woman. I promise you, I'm going to manifest them. They just want to go against everything. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, homie? I just went through a situation, just... Oh, you know what I'm saying? Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. Yes, my brother, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, catch me on my my other social media, like my Instagram, which is King David the Chosen, or my TikTok, which is King David the Black Wolf, or my Facebook, which is David Young, and then I think I got King David the Chosen to the side, but it's David Young. Hit me up on there, man. If you want any insight about how to dodge and get over a covert narcissist, I'm the dude, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm the dude, and it ain't even on no get back type of stuff. I'll teach you how to do it to where you won't even think about that person anymore. You won't even think about that person anymore. You won't think ill of them. You won't think good about them. You'll just be like, salute, be about your way. Just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? No problem, my brother. But I'll make sure I put the links in the description. But I do think I have the TikTok link down there. I think I have the Facebook. If not, I'll update it. But I'm, hey gentlemen, I'm out here for y'all. There's not enough information out here on female covert narcissists, and then the internet hyperinflates the male narcissist, so women are able to run around again with that blanket and that cover of men not knowing that most of them are narcissists. Because guess what society does? Society trying to make us all narcissistic. Society trying to make us all vain, worry about our image, worry about our look, worry about what everybody else thinks about us instead of working on ourselves. Society tries to project that onto us. And men, most of us, we have to like grow, and we understand. A lot of women don't understand that, man. And they take that image and they're being narcissistic and don't even know it, bro. They don't even know it. They're doing what their favorite celebrities doing. They're doing whatever most of the women are talking about online doing, but they're not looking up the traits of a narcissist. The narcissist realizing, man, I'm doing what a narcissist does. I have, these thirst trap, where I go online and I post up these images and get these dudes DMing me. And then instead of cutting them off, I let them entertain me. Therefore, they're slowly working their way into my psyche. So whenever my man starts doing stuff that I don't want, and then when these guys leave a comment under my pictures or whatever, then I can start, mentally cheating on this dude, emotionally cheating on this dude. And we all know when a woman starts emotionally cheating, that's worse than her physically cheating, because once a guy gets into her psyche, man, he's in, it's done. And then these women start doing things like emotionally detaching themselves from us, arguing, starting fights, trying to do reverse discard, setting themselves up for, the divorce or the end of the relationship, where they end up with most things, and also trying to make you look crazy. All these things are not really available to us like they should be. And most every person online, male and female, are talking about how narcissistic men are. Listen, we already know that most men are narcissistic. To be a go-getter and to be an alpha dog in this world, they teach you to be a narcissist. You got to literally go against the grain and be a Sigma and have a heart and try to be authentic and work harder. It's so much harder. You know what I'm saying? Instead of manipulating, I could use the gifts I have easily to manipulate most of everybody and make them think I'm a certain kind of way, come off super nice and work my way to the top. But I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna show them who I really am. I'm gonna use my gifts the right kind of way. It's hard to do that as a Sigma. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. And people take the easy way out. And most women are covert narcissists instead of being a real woman and knowing, okay, well, yeah, most guys are not gonna know or care about how many bodies I have, but I'm a lady and I should know better. And I shouldn't be out there putting myself out there like that. And I should know, even if I don't see any worldly consequences, my soul is on the line here. So if I get married to a man or whatever, and I'm a cheater, and I know that I can probably get away with a lot of it and make it seem like the man's crazy, I shouldn't probably do that, because there might be a thing of karma, or I might have a soul or something. They never think like that. And because most women are narcissistic and they're taught, it's not completely their fault, but it is their fault. They're taught consistently that men are nothing. Watch the movies that are put out. Like, dudes are groveling, we're doing everything we can, sacrificing ourselves for the woman. The music is about, either, what rappers do, talking, degrading the women, or it's a country song talking about, she left me, and what am I gonna do? Come on, man. We ain't got nothing. We have to figure this out. Like they get a pass to make them feel better, and they got to figure it out on their own whether I want to just ride this thing on out that's obviously being catered to me, and go along with the sisterhood, or do I want to go against that, keep my bodies low, stick with God, find a good man? As a man, we ain't got that, man. We got to just figure it out. Like, man, everything out here just seems like it's against men. Everything. Man, I can't. Everything, all these social media, all these different people on their podcasts, all of them are pandering to women, and I'm just tired of seeing it, man. So it's just like, you got to figure it out and exit stage left. They do that, man. Like I said, I don't, I use my anecdotal situation a little bit, but I was with my ex for 9.5 years, and I didn't really see it until after she did the flip, when she was ready to, be done and be gone. And then I started putting everything together, and because they will show themselves. But see, when someone's looking at you like they could cut your throat, you're just thinking of it like, oh, that's just that look they give you when they get kind of upset. or whatever. But then you like look back on it like, man, every time that shit looked at, and all the stuff that she ended up doing and all the stuff that I found out she did, and she meant those looks. See, when you're a seer and you're an empath, you can see these people's demons when they come out of them. Like there was plenty of time where she looked at me like, man, if I could, I just, you know, and I was like, ah, yeah, she just, you know, and that's the problem that some of us guys, man, we kind of underestimate women, again, pedestalizing them, you know, thinking that they're all ladies and they're not. And when a woman shows me the kind of female she is, man, I don't give it a second thought. It's like, bye. Shoot, that cutoff game be so serious, man. You know, and women, they can't stand that. That demon that's in some of these females can't stand it. Can't stand it. The best thing to do, I'm gonna tell you straight up, the best thing to do, you go through a divorce or you find out you got one of these women that are like leaning in their lower side, their narcissistic traits, get away from her. Drop her cold turkey. Drop her cold turkey, and know that that's God's protection. Know that you learned a lesson from that woman and that situation. What little time you spent with her or a lot of time you spent with her, it was not time wasted, because the 9.5 years I spent with that woman and what I learned, it's worth its weight in gold, because I'm going to be a celebrity no matter what. I'm going to be rich and famous no matter what. I've been known this all my life, and if I would have taken that woman with me, man, oh man, eventually she would have went ahead and went for the divorce, took the chunk of cash, you know what I'm saying, and destroyed me. So instead of, you know, getting rid of her now, I had to get rid of her later, where she had way more options and ways to destroy me. So God works a way for a certain reason, because it might have seemed weird how out of nowhere she started acting differently and then switched things up. But honestly, my man, that was her plan from the beginning. She just had to wait for the optimal time. You know what I'm saying? Whether that was right after the marriage or right after, you know, like when I decided to stop working for people and then build myself as an entrepreneur, there's always time where the money's not quite the same. I was making like 120 something thousand. So, you know what I'm saying? Going from that to, I was still making decent money. The narc's like, nah, I gotta go. Exactly, man. Oh, she left. Yeah, they do all kind of weird stuff. My ex was like, I'm not even gonna like say too much. I ain't trying to trauma bond or whatever, but listen, man, they do a lot of stuff, kind of hinting around, and she was getting in my face a couple times. Like, they do stuff, man, like, because what they want you to leave. They want you to break it off. They, you know, most narcissists are cowards, so they want you to break it off. So it's really called a reverse discard. They want you to break it off so they don't seem like they were the villain, even though I'm gonna tell you right now, when a woman starts acting differently, she's got somebody else lined up. She's done kind of pair bonded with somebody else. And, you know, you're the ex in her mind, whether y'all together or not. You know what I'm saying? You're the ex. So you just have to just realize that and just move accordingly and not try to like, no, I don't care what you felt about her. That ain't the same woman anymore, if that was ever the woman to begin with. So who you see in front of you, whoever they're showing themselves at that time, you believe them. And that's what I do. Like, you show me who you are. Y'all ain't gonna be sitting over here trying to figure out if you're not that way. The hell with you. I got a whole life to live. If you couldn't see the greatness in me and you thought that it was, you know, greener pasture somewhere else, salute and good luck. You know what I mean? I don't have none. I have no ill will towards them. Just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave me alone. I know what greatness I'm going to be, and whoever I decide to be with is going to be highly blessed. You know what I'm saying? Having a good time, laughing all the rest of our time, or however long we're together. So I'm not concerned with it. Exactly. Absolutely. Do everything that they can to try to trigger you and get you upset, man. But here's the thing about it, right? You know who you are. Even if you're with that woman for years, obviously she didn't know your worth, or she wouldn't have done what she did to cause you to have to separate her when she left in the first place. So you know who you are. She don't know you. Other people don't know you. So whatever they project onto you and make assumptions about, they're all assumptions. It's not fact. It's just opinion, assumptions, perspective, and just like everybody else, what they say, man. Everybody got an opinion, just like everybody got a you know what. You know what I'm saying? So it don't really matter. It don't really matter whatsoever. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. And that reminded me, I gotta go to the grocery store, man. I didn't mean to be on here this long. Get some food real quick. You know, getting ready for tomorrow. I don't celebrate these pagan holidays, y'all. But I make up my own little thing. And, you know, and it's kind of good that I don't. I can make it, instead of, having all that, turkey, I can just make it steak or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just switch things up. Instead of just, you know, Christmas being one day of the month, it can be every day of the month for my kid. I do all kind of stuff, man. I don't get into this stuff, man. I don't get into this stuff like that. And I don't worship this stuff, you know. So, but for all of those that do, happy holidays, you know, eat up. But I appreciate y'all. I'll be back on here later on. I'm getting on TikTok. I'm going to work out for a little while. Peace, love, and light. I appreciate your brother for showing up. You know, if you want any more insight, definitely hit me up. If you guys have any video ideas for these covert narcissistic women or men's improvement or whatever, shoot me a DM on one of my other social medias, or just drop a comment. And that way you're triggering the algorithm, and also you're contributing to the channel by giving me some dope idea for a dope video. So don't be shy. Don't feel like I don't listen. I read every comment, even the haters that leave comments. I read the comments. I just don't really care because that person doesn't know me. But make sure you guys go ahead and get that done. And you know, we're building a channel here, we're building a community, and we're trying to get more men out there that are going through, we're going through. And there's also women that are out there going through, we're going through, and they need a good leader and leaders. So let's get this going, man. Let's get it done. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Peace, love, and light. I'll be back on here later on, y'all. Later.